For this particular job, we're going to try a little different flavor. Instead of doing feature groups, we're going to do auto grouping. And hostname, in this case, Streptococcus pneumoniae, are all generally human isolates. So that wouldn't be very informative. But the isolation country might be interesting here. And let's start with the susceptible 2X proteins, PBP2X. Because remember that there were some that were susceptible and some that were resistant. So I want to see if I can tease out the resistances based on countries, perhaps. Okay, so we have this. We need to click here to move it into this box here. We have to wait a minute once we do that, and then it comes in. And so it's got the information, and it's got the GenBank accession. If they have it, some of them don't. The strain generally not needed for bacteria, or I don't need it, but so I can get rid of it if I want by clicking on that. And the metadata in the groups, it's looking based on the country. Now notice that there's a lot of them that don't have that. And if I click on this, it should sort them from those that don't have it, click on it again, to those that do. And you'll see that a majority of these are coming from the United States, but we do have some from Kazakhstan, not many. Okay, this is just to show you an example. It's not a rigorous example. Then this is the BV-BRC unique identifier for this protein and the genome ID. All right. But the button is gray because we haven't given it an output folder, metacats, and I'm going to call this PBP2X isolation country, AMOX sus. Okay. Fingers crossed, it's blue. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And we have to wait till it says the job has been successfully submitted, and now it's running. But luckily enough for you, I've already submitted this job and it's completed. So let's go look at the one that completed. This time I'm going to click down here on the jobs icon, and that's going to take me to the jobs page. So I open that up, and here is that job. And to see it, I highlight the row, and then I click on the view icon. And that's going to show me the job results, which look just the same as it did for the other ones, meaning that it's got the output, the math log, the MC table, and the chi-square table. Oh, and also notice it just took 9 seconds to run. So fast. Okay, let's check the view icon. Click on that. And here we go. It's showing me more groups. I just had USA and Kazakhstan. Well, remember, a lot of those genomes didn't have any data. So it's put those here. So let's go in and look at our amino acids of interest. The first one was 339. That one wasn't in the first one either, so we wouldn't expect to see any differences. 371, all of the Kazakhstan 2X proteins have a T in this position. Some of them, probably about a third of them in the USA, and 2/3 have I. The T is the one associated with resistance. Okay, so the next one is 384, which we can see also here, significant difference between them. The G is the resistant amino acid. So all of the ones from Kazakhstan have that, and it's not quite 1-to-1, but it's close between those in the USA, and the ones that didn't have a country labeled when the people submitted this genome to GenBank, the majority of those have the susceptible phenotype. The next one is 400, which isn't here, so there's no significant difference between the two. Then we have 514 and 546. So the resistant phenotype, and it's almost 1-to-1 here, but in the unlabeled that didn't have a country of origin assigned, most of them are the susceptible phenotype. The 546 valine is the resistant. So this is more towards the susceptible leucine, and this is highly skewed toward the leucine. So it also shows you the p-value for that. And then finally, the last one was 605, with the T being resistant and the N being susceptible. So this makes you think that something interesting is going on in Kazakhstan, because of the proteins that they have here, all of them have the resistant phenotype, every single one for at least those positions. So why were they susceptible? That would be something you might want to explore. So this is the one, what it looks like when you do the auto grouping and then choose one of those metadata characteristics that you want to sort your data on. In the next video, we're going to look at when you submit an alignment file. So see you there. Bye.